Hello and welcome back. This is Fredrik from Tektronix. Today I was requested from South Africa just to do a quick video on how you measure power on pulses in general. I'm using an RSA507A to collect the signals. I'm actually this time connected via cable to our TSG. So first of all, we can start with, what can we see with this kind of equipment? So I'm just, as usual, just running the DPX to see if we have something here, and I'm trying to squeeze out as much power as possible over my small. And you can see here is some signal. So first of all, we're going to do this and put the ref level. I'm going to tweak as much power possible out of this baby, which is above 16 dB. This is the maximum I can get out. And here you can see the difference between real time and non-real time. So this is the basic start. So I really don't need now the real-time window anymore. I'm going to just close it down. Second part of this is actually trying to trigger on this one. You can see I have a bandwidth of 40 megahertz and the ref level 20, center frequency is 1 gig and the resolution bandwidth is 300 kilohertz. So first of all, my tip is go to view, navigate to view. Navigate to view is the zero span. Then we go to the trigger, and we just, in this case, move the trigger up a little bit until we have something that is a little bit better, hopefully. Wow, yeah, let's put it in trigger as well. Trigger, so here we are. And I get some questions about this. This is a red bar and blue bar. This is actually where we do either the analysis, which is the blue, or the red where we do the FFT. As this is very short, we're only down here to 7 microseconds in total time. It's not that visible, but if I put 50 microseconds here, you can see that the blue line now is longer. This is where I do my analysis, and the red one is where I do my FFT. So I go back to my spectrum, and I can move it out, for example. I say I want to move it here, and there's nothing here. So you can actually have analysis done one place and FFT done another place. Okay, so, there's two ways of measuring power. There's actually more ways of measuring power, but this is kind of a radar-like signal, and there's two ways to do that from a statistical point of view or a pulse-to-poise point of view. So I will show you how you set up the statistical view first. So you go to select displays, you go into what we call the pulsed RF, and we go to cumulative statistics. I just press this one. And another tip for here is go to window and don't lock window, so you can actually tile this around a little bit. Window, don't lock window, like this. So you can actually make it bigger and smaller, and you can move this around so you can have the data you have here. So what are we seeing here right now? What is the information this is giving us? So we can see that we analyzes the number of pulses. We can see the max of the average on. We can see the width of the average on. The timing when it was max and the timing when it was max. I can move this a little bit like this. The minimum and the time stamp for the minimum. I'm also, for you aware of, I've connected with the GPS, and the GPS is really nice for us because under acquisition menu I have a frequency reference that I'm using the GPS as a frequency reference, giving me a little bit improvement. So this is starting point number one. So I have this, and I can clear this one, and I can start over again, and you can see that it's pretty quick. I do a few hundred of these. We go to analysis again. Sorry for that. So I do a few of this, and we can tweak this around. And this gives you some indication, but what we can add as well to this one is the cumulative histogram. And I just add this one, and you will be able to see. Oh, didn't I add it? Pulse RS, this one. Here we are. So now I can move this around as well, and this is building upon this data. So I have average on and width. And this will build, separately. So what I try to do is clear and clear. I wish there was one clear button, but in this case people want, and you can see the scale is 37 millidB. And of course, if you want to add something to this, like, oh no, I wanted to look at the peak, all the data is in here, so you don't have to, you know, if you forget something, ripple, everything is here. So in this case was, you know, average on what we want to look for. So this is idea number 1. And this gives you an indication of if there's something wrong with the simple pulse, but you don't get the pulse-to-pulse information. So I will just add here a little bit more time until we get a few more pulses. And now you can see that we have 2 pulses. And as long as I have 2 pulses, I get the repetition interval. And also I can add another layer here. Oh, sorry for this one. To add average transmitted power over the pulses. And the more pulses give you more. But this is basically what you do, and you can just leave it run for hours and hours and hours and hours. So this is what we call the statistical view. You can run it forever and ever, and you get millions of pulses, and you get the time when it was the best or worst, or etc. And there's a lot of different things you can have, but in this video was focusing more on power. So I close this one, or can actually leave it be. The second one we can add is whoops, now there's something fishy with my computer. I will add this layer of the other one, which is pulse statistics and pulse table. What's the difference? Yeah, so this one takes, this pulses is just overlaid and continuous. In some cases you don't want to do that. You want to run one sweep and check every individual pulse in the sweep. So it's not statistics, it's single shot statistics. So I open these 2 pulse tables and you will immediately see the difference here. It's going to be a little bit crowded, but I'm trying to do my best here. So the average on here, we can reduce that down to whatever, 0.1 and auto scale it. You can see I only have like 2 pulses, and you can see pulse 1 and 2. So if I increase this time over here, 5 milliseconds, I have now 10 pulses, and it will give me the maximum, this pulse number 5. And here, what I can do also is another thing, not only trend, I can histogram this as well, and I can do an FFT. And the FFT is very good if you're looking for leakage or something, because if the average power is kind of modulated, we probably need more pulses as this. Let's go to 50 milliseconds. You can actually do an FFT of the results, and you can see there's a peak here. But normally what I've seen is peaks over here, and that's actually from some, you know, power transmission or DC-DC converters. So if I just stop this now, and I clear this one, abort without finishing, and just clear everything, and clear this one, and this one, and I just do a single ding. This will actually be the same thing, more or less. So the analyzing, we have 100 pulses, we have 100 pulses over here, but this one, which is a pulse statistics and pulse table, will reset every acquisition. This will add on every acquisition. So if I do one more single shot, this will still have 100, and this will now get 200. So it's depending what you're looking for, you can use these different tools together or separate. It's a fantastic easy tool to use to monitoring, for example, the transmitted power out over a very, very long time, where you actually sometimes miss pulses. But in this case is just checking pulse versus pulse. And if you look at this one, you can see each of the pulses like this. I hope you enjoyed this little bit strange video, but it was a customer request, and I hope you get the answer. Thank you very much.